And tangibility. A lot of services you cannot touch. Now this is a thing which I'm believing. Yeah, a lot of services ride on the back of products. You need the product, then you have the service which goes with it. But increasingly, you're getting services, products riding on the back of services. I mean, pizza. Who would pay a fortune for basically cheese on toast? Unless it was delivered. It's the service side which has made it work. Quality. Qualitative. With products, you have drawings, you have tolerances, and if it's outside the tolerance, it's wrong. The product is wrong. Now, services isn't like that. It's qualitative. It's often interaction between people. It's difficult to measure and difficult to control. And then how do you measure these things? So, measuring the smile of the person who teaches you? Oh, it's worth keeping that longer, isn't it? I'm getting out of control again. You can't store a pure service. This makes it very difficult because you have to produce the thing when it's wanted. And of course, demand variation is a serious problem when you're designing services. If you don't sell a car today, you'll sell it tomorrow, and you can keep it. But if you're running a transport system, those buses have to be there when people want them. And the fluctuation is by the hour. So you've got to plan your service so it can be delivered by the hour. For example, Father Christmas, you see? What's he doing at the moment? He's in the shops from about beginning of September through to December. Then he goes and delivers all his toys, and you think he's back in Lapland, don't you, making goodies? When he's really out on the piss in Malta. And when you're busy, you can be very busy. And you can't cope. And this has to be planned as well. So you see, you can use nearly all the engineering design techniques, but then when you come upon these things, you suddenly realise there's a lot more which has to be done. Demand changes by the hour. I want to see it comes up there, but it doesn't come up here. That's what gets me. Innovation, one of those misused words. Innovation is easier with services. Now, if you're doing manufacturing, you sometimes have to think, well, we've got so much tied up in what we're doing at the moment. Such an infrastructure. You know, if I want to change from a car, I've got all the factories making it, all the engines, all the people who are skilled in fixing them, petrol stations, a whole infrastructure. Whereas most services, or a lot of services, don't have this, so it is easier to innovate without panicking about what you're trying to shift. And culture's different in different places. If you go for a meal in Greece, it's an all-night thing. You're going to leisurely eat, and there's going to be a great wait between various courses. And that's it. And English people who go there get stroppy because they want faster service. And then Americans come to Britain and they get cross because they want even faster service. And I find when I go to America, I can't stand their cloying service because it's too much of a muchsome. I mean, some years ago, I was in New York and they had a place which was, you bought a burger and you could have as much to drink all evening. Well, the novelty had worn off for the locals. But there was mainly tourists in there. And there I was with my jug of wine. getting slowly liquored up. This is good, isn't it? One hamburger and I can drink myself into oblivion. I like this. And the person comes up saying, "Excuse me, sir, would you like more wine?" So I says, "Oh, in about 7 minutes." Yeah, about 7 minutes later, tap on the shoulder. "Your 7 minutes is up, sir. Here's your other jug of wine." Now that was, I mean, it's brilliant service. You can't argue with that. But it's too much for me. It was too, maybe, I don't know what the service is expected in Denmark. But I personally believe that there is, at any time, though quality, etc., improves, there is a service beyond which people don't want to go. Right, defining success. The way people define success. The thing is, these are the sort of things which people define their success when this product is already failing, right? You define your success at the beginning. You can certainly have all of these at the beginning, but it's secondary. It's all about bringing a smile to the face of children. Was somebody who was dealing with the Olympics. I said it was out of control and you're spending too much money. And he said, "But how much would you pay to put the smile on the face of children?" I called him a prat and he walked away. Have all of these things as well, certainly. First define them at the beginning. This is what success is, and then you know what you're aiming at. But really, the only measure of success, a technological breakthrough, it has to be financial. If you don't have a financial success, then you're out of work and the company's out of business. So you start off by saying, how are we going to make money? And then you can have all those other things as well. I'm not spoiling it for you. Have your flagship product and smiling children. That's the main measure of success. Anyway, it isn't cheap. It isn't easy. But it's worth it. Something spinning around there and it hasn't come up. There's supposed to be a lot more yellow in this, Just give the customers what they want. Now there's a talk tomorrow, and this is later today, where somebody's going to disagree with this. If you can't see at the back, they're rats, all right? And I'm looking forward to that talk because I was just saying, just give people what they want and add a profit, of course.